Sláinte, how do you do, buckaroos? How the heck are you? The hazards of outside, I got to deal with the flies and then the mower. I like to use my bar area when I can, but there are some hazards. There's some pitfalls, I'll admit. So I've got the Piney River making hay, German style Pilsner. The ingredients are Ozark well water, malted barley, yeast, and hops, as a beer should be. Set that off to the side for a second. Change props, but I also been working through this Boot Hill wheat whiskey. I picked this up back in January, and it hasn't taken me this long because it's not good. It really is. It's that I've been trying to make it last, but I'm down to this little bit. So when I get down that far, it just becomes time to finish her up. So I thought I'd have a little bit with you on the rocks to start with anyway, and then we may have some neat later. But anyway, sláinte. Oh, that's nice. I like my little Jim Beam black glass for neat. Oh, something got in there. A little bug got in there, darn it. Again, the hazards of outside drinking. Can't get that little bastard out of there. I almost have it, and it slips back in. I think I got it that time. Son of a bitch, the hazards, the hazards, the hazards. Yeah, I like being inside. I like being outside, but there are some pitfalls. But I like to use my bar when the weather permits, you know. Then I got to deal with the bug and the mowers. Anyways, I persevere, by golly. I had some jazz cranking up before I started. I turned it off so I didn't get any flags from anybody. I just had the feel for it. It was the last song playing was Bobby Timmons' "Moaning," but before that was some Lee Morgan "Sidewinder," and then I opened up with some Thelonious Monk on that particular playlist. Oh man, this whiskey's nice. It is 100 proof. This is a batch 3, bottle 648. Aged 2 years in charred oak barrel, so it's a young whiskey. And from Kansas, out of Dodge City, Kansas. Although I didn't buy it in Kansas, I hadn't seen it in my neck of the woods. I actually picked it up in Tulsa when my wife was there in January. But we were trying not to go anywhere, and I've been trying to buy as little as possible because we've got a vacation coming up soon. And there are some places I want to hit, so I'm hoping to want to get my beer fridge empty, so when I come back, I can fill it up directly. Get my whiskey shelf cleared out. I'm not a collector like a lot of folks. I don't collect stuff just for the sake of collecting stuff or to say, hey, look what I got. You know, everything I buy, I intend on drinking at some point or sharing with somebody. I don't understand the mentality of buying stuff to put on a shelf and let it sit there. I don't have that. I don't have that gene that makes me want to buy stuff for the sake of buying stuff. Everything I buy, no matter what it is, intends on being used. Glassware, for instance. I do love glassware, but I don't understand the point of buying glassware and putting it away in a cabinet. It never gets broke that way, I guess, even though I did have some broke in the cabinet, but that's a different story. But yeah, the purpose of everything is to be used. I don't understand buying things for the sake of buying things. Change my prop here while I take a drink of beer. Piney River, I hadn't had this one before for some reason. I don't know why. I just happened to see it, and I needed a Pilsner, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to get anywhere else to get one. For the Chaser show this evening, if my friends can tune into that, hosted with Jersey Johnny and David the Beer Samurai. The theme was lemon, so I went to the store to look for a lemon beer, and I really couldn't find one. Well, I found that's not totally true, but I found a couple that were both sours. I didn't really want a sour. I'm not a big sour guy. I don't hate the style. I just got to be in the mood. I didn't want to have to drink a sour. And the only other option was an import radler. And those that know me know I like to stay local or local-ish. So my thought was, okay, if I can't find a lemon beer, I'm going to get a German-style Pilsner and make a radler out of it. Because again, the theme for the show is lemons, so I did a basil lemon simple syrup that I'm going to use in some whiskey. But I can use that same thing, that same simple syrup, to make a lemonade. To again, yeah, make a radler. So anyway, that was the thought behind that. Want to finish this whiskey before too much milk gets in there. I do like this whiskey. The truth is, almost every whiskey should be drank neat, especially when of this quality. But when it's warm, I'm really feeling rocks or a cocktail of some sort. So I'm going to finish this up. I'm going to pour some in here neat and do something a little different. The title of the video is Two Pilsners and a Wheat Whiskey. So I do have one more Pilsner to have with you, but I want to start with this one. And I bought this one because I didn't think I was going to get to that location. So I've got two options to go with for German style Pilsner. And I'm going to have this one. I'm going to have another one to see. I don't know if I'm leaning in any one particular direction at the moment. They're both really good. Been watching a lot of Olympics on my days off. I really enjoy that. You know, when I was a kid, the Olympics were a big deal, man. Seemed like everything stopped when the Olympics were on. Of course, we had limited coverage back then. It wasn't like it is now, right? So when the Olympics were on, everybody was inside, especially on the weekends, you know. And then you had the primetime coverage at night, so we were all inside watching that. It was a big deal back then. It does just kind of make my heart hurt a little bit when I sit here, folks say, especially folks my age that I thought probably grew up the same way I did, with the Olympics being very important, saying, well, I don't really care about the Olympics. And I just don't understand that, because it is a big deal. It should be treated as a big deal. These are great athletes, and these are sports that should get more coverage than they do. These aren't just the best athletes in their country, like, you know, baseball, football, basketball. These are the best athletes in the world, whether they're from the U.S. or not. And don't get me wrong, I love to see the U.S. win the medals. You know, especially watching, you know, Sydney McLaughlin or Noah Lyles. I love that. But I love when we have other stories, right? When other countries win medals, when you've got a great story, because it's not just about the U.S. You know, I don't understand that nationalist mindset where, you know, that me first mindset, that take care of number one mindset. We should be worried about everybody. The fact that we have this sporting event every 2 years, summer than winter, where the whole world comes together. The whole world comes together. This should be important to everybody. I don't understand why it isn't. We should normalize coming together as 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 our world, our planet. We should normalize that rather than thinking our specific region is somehow more important than everybody else. That God bless America stuff doesn't make any sense to me. We should be, if you truly believed in a God, he wouldn't care just about this one little patch of land, right? We should be saying, God bless the world, God bless all of us. I don't understand that limited mentality of somehow we're more important than everybody else. It's just more than a little narcissistic. But I've been loving watching the games. I've been loving these special stories, the underdog stories. The favorites that have been winning that because they put in the time, but then you've got the underdog stories where folks kind of not necessarily came out of nowhere, but maybe exceeded their expectations. Because anybody in the Olympics, anybody there isn't coming out of nowhere, right? These are folks that proved they deserve to be there. Mercy. So I've got another beer to get to, but I'm going to do something with this whiskey first. I'm going to pour some neat, and then I'm going to do a little something with it right in front of your eyes. Right in front of you. I ain't hiding nothing. Let's see. This is a 2.5 ounce glass, and I don't need a full 2.5 ounces. Let's just pour it about there. There we go. That's enough. So a friend gave me this cocktail smoker set. Now, what I've got in here is some oak wood. So I'm going to do that right in front of you. Let me add just a little more wood in there. So I used it a little earlier. There you go. You can see the smoke going into the glass. Now, well, you can't because I didn't put it where you can see it. Now you can see the smoke going into the glass. Well, I should have done that first, Tom. Anyway, I digress. And I'm going to lift that up, and you should see the smoke come out. There you go. You see that smoke come out of there. Look at that billow out of there. I can see it clearly here. I just don't know how it's translating to the screen. So how does this affect the whiskey, you might ask? In all honesty, it's more of a presentation. It does add to the flavor a little bit. The way a lot of bars use it, it's more of a parlor trick, right? Oh, looky. But yeah, now that I smell that oak on the nose, and then it kind of competes or joins with the whiskey, depending on. So it just changes things a little bit. But to be honest, the way a lot of bars use the smoke cocktail thing, it's more of a parlor trick. It's a reason for them to charge you more. Instead of a $10 cocktail, it's now a $15 cocktail, or instead of a $15 cocktail, it's now a $20 cocktail because we use this much wood. We use just a pinch of wood in there because it doesn't take much, man. It really doesn't. But I will tell you, me sitting here, it really kind of changes how you approach it. Because I smell that nice oak, and I really go, oh, that's nice. Combined with the aromatics of the whiskey, doesn't change the aromatics of the whiskey, but it kind of adds to it. Mercy. Anybody watching, if you'd like to tell me what you were drinking or have a conversation, just let me know. I'll answer almost everybody. Like I usually say, unless you're just being a colossal asshead. If you just want to be a troll, I'm not gonna feed the trolls. We all have those, don't we? You can't do this as long as some of us have been doing it and not attract some trolls over years. The funny thing is, some of those trolls disguise themselves as friends for a period of time. They let you think they're friends until they can find something to use against you. That's rather pathetic, but I know we all have those. But some people just want to be negative. I just don't understand that mentality. I don't know why you choose to be hateful, right? And I think that's why we have such a divide in this country. I'm not going to delve into politics on this video, but I think that's why we have the divide is you have a certain segment of society that chooses hate and fear over hope and acceptance. And I just want to drink my whiskey, man. I think a lot of us are thinking we're watching the fall of Rome at this moment. Yeah, we had a great run, but maybe we had a good run. But maybe we're tired of watching the Lions eat the poor people in the Coliseum. There's going to be an uprising at some point. Uh, but the folks that like to get rid of the poor people, they like the way things are going. They're going to do their best to keep it going. They want to convince you the problems are something else or somewhere else. Ah, that is nice. Yeah, when I had this whiskey on the rock or on the rocks earlier, it was pleasant because it is hot and it kind of changes the game a little bit, makes it more refreshing. But drinking this neat, even adding the addition of the oak, yeah, this really is a whiskey that should be drank neat because it is just wow good. But once I get to this point, I'm not going to drink anything else until I finish this up. I got to get this one finished up, and that's another one gone. I've been opening up one bottle a month until I'm out of bottles to open, and I opened one a couple days ago, so I've got one bottle left to open, and I'm going to open at the beginning of September, and then hopefully by the time we go on vacation, I'm going to be, if not completely empty, near that point where I don't have anything left. I'm not buying anything else. And that's where I am at this point. I'm not buying anything else for any reason. There's a lot of breweries where I'm going. There's a lot. There's a fair amount of distilleries as well. So, and then even where there's not distilleries, I'm bound to hit markets where they have products there that that aren't available to me here. And even though we're going away, not for not for me to hit breweries and distilleries, we're going away for our 30th anniversary, but we have budgeted some time. In fact, my wife picked the location, but she likes to thrift shop. So, and we're not a joined at the hip couple. Joined at the hip couple. We like to do kind of our thing. So, way she gets some alone time, I get some alone time. It's kind of everybody wins sort of thing. And the last 3 years, we haven't had a lot of money to do much for our anniversary. So we kind of kept it close to home. If we're able to get away, it was just a short trip, a couple of days. And we've been starting to enjoy wine. So we've been hitting a lot of local wineries. But I think we've kind of gone past that. Or at least I know my wife has, because she really was. Because I was trying to find romantic locations. She found a location that had a lot of thrift stores. so, so I think she was trying to tell me something. So I took the hint. I'm going to cover this up, and I'm going to be right back. I'm going to jump off camera just for a second and grab my second Pilsner that I told you about as I try to get these flies. Those little bastards. So I've got the Springfield Brewing Company German Pills. It's a small batch line. This one's at 5.5%. Let me get my SBC glass here. Get that poured for you. Got a nice head on there. Because who doesn't like nice head? Anyway, I digress. Let me get that going here. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Let me show you that beer. Look at that. That's just gorgeous. Anyway, you get that can up there. Yeah, I'm trying to decide which of these would work best in the application to turn into a Radler. Now, this is that even though the Piney River doesn't tell me exactly what hops they're using. It does say German style, or I believe it does. German style Pilsner. Yeah. This one's a German style Pilsner as well, but it does say they specifically showcase the Tettnang. Although I will tell you right away, I noticed the nose feels a little sweeter on this German Pils. Oh, yeah, that's nice. Nice herbal hot finish. I do like that Czech name. I do like a Czech Pilsner though too, because I love the sauce. But for this application, I really wanted a German style because I'm going to turn it into a German Radler or German style Radler. So I wanted to see which one, and I'm still not sure to be honest with you. Either one would work. Both are good in their own ways. I don't like to say well, what's better than the other one because it really depends. For me, anyway, it kind of depends on what I'm in the mood for at that particular moment, right? At one moment, this I might like this one better. At another moment, I might like that one better. So I don't like the this or that comparisons. That's why I've never liked to call myself a reviewer because I've never seen myself as a reviewer. Because the word reviewer to me implies you're a critic. So you're instantly looking for something wrong with the product. Where I'm the opposite. I'm an appreciator. I'm looking for everything to be right. When something's wrong, I'm really disappointed. It's oh guys, I don't want to do this because of all the videos I've done over the years. I've only done a few negative ones. And usually it came out because I just didn't have a choice, right? If I do a live video when it's there, that's kind of where I'm at. I had to do a video the other day. Uh, I was really disappointed in a brewery that I really like, and I'm not going to say it now, but it was just, I mean, I really feel like it wasn't even a matter of not liking the beers. I think there was something wrong with it. It felt like it was infected. So I'm debating on what to do, whether to take the rest of that 6-pack. I had one, take the rest of it back to where I bought it and say, check the rest of your stock. But part of me wants to take one can to the brewery and say, you need to look at this because you may have an issue. You can this and you sent it out. So maybe you need to, check your stock. Oh, gosh. I love the clean, dry finish of this one, though. At the moment, I'm really digging this one because it's really kind of hitting the spot. It's a hot day. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to cover that so bugs don't get in it. I'm going to open that up. So to finish this up, to finish it up, oh, yeah, that's another problem of being outside is allergies are brutal this year. The pollen and the mold count has been astronomical. So anyway, Sláinte, I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor, wisdom man. I will finish up this beer for you. And check back with me about 5:30. 6 maybe. Sometimes they tend to. The show is always originally scheduled to run at about 5:30 Central Time, but sometimes it runs a bit late. I tell you, it really messes with my OCD though, because I'm one of those guys that is always early. If you tell me to be there at 6, I'm there at 5:45. It's that mindset. If you're not 15 minutes early, you're late. Yeah. So I mean, I typically go to work a minimum of 15, 20 minutes early. That way, I don't have to go to work right away. I want to sit there. I want to sit down before I have to start my duties. Run everything through my mind, get a game plan. Yeah. And I get it. Younger folks today don't do that. I was brought up this way, so. But I know a lot of folks, younger generation, when they want to go to work a second before they have to clock in, they go right to it. But for me, I've got to get everything in perspective, get a game plan, run everything through my mind, overthink every damn thing. Mercy, it's just how I was put together. I've tried to get over that over the years, and it didn't work. But now I've kind of embraced it. Sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's not. You've got to learn when it is good to overthink things. Learn that when it is not, because it can help you out in certain situations, but it can be detrimental because sometimes when you overthink something, you take a moment that should be a happy moment and turn it into something else because you're not taking the time to enjoy it. Anyways, get that fly out, you little bastard! Hit that one. He was in the way, man. Now he's just mocking me. Now he's just openly mocking me. Anyways, I am Tom the Beer Whisperer, Beer Evangelist, prolific beer drinker, pervert, wisdom man. All around good guy, slant you.